Welcome to Kalviyum Nanum channel. So the main motive of this channel is to help the students to learn the concept in a easier manner and to crack the competitive exams. So here I have started with the data structure subject. So why I choose data structure is the importance of the subject and the weightage of the mark is also high for a data structure concept. Okay, so before going to a data structure, let us start with what is data, what is information, how data is going to be differ from information. Okay, so first I will start with the data. So what is data actually? So whether the data is going to be a number or what kind of thing is going to be a data. We'll have a question in our mind, right? So normally data is nothing but it is a raw fact, or else we can say that it is a figure. So how this raw fact and figure is going to be represented, right? So these raw facts and the figures is going to be represented by either number or a letter or else combination of both this letter and numbers. But the thing is, it doesn't give any meaning on it. If it is a number or if it is a letter or if it is a combination of both also, it is not going to give any meaning on it, right? So this is what data. So apart from the characters, we are going to have a special characters also in the data. So like plus, minus, division, less than symbol, greater than symbols. So everything is going to we have in the data. But the thing is, it is going to be a letter or a number or a combination of both, and it doesn't give any meaning on it. That is what data. So now we'll see some of the examples related to the data. First thing, you can able to see here 150170. So by seeing this example, we can say that it is a sequence of number. So I've already told that it is not going to give any meaning. So if it is a data, it is not going to give any meaning. So by seeing this example, you come to know that it is a sequence of numbers, but we doesn't know that what is actually mean, right? Second thing, English, right? So it is a sequence of characters. Again, it doesn't have any meaning over here. So we'll go for the next thing. So 23. So 23 is also a number. We don't know that what the 23 is going to be mean over here. Next one is 1066. So again, it is also not giving any meaning over here. So this is a data. Okay, so now we got a clear picture on data. I will move on to the information. So what is information? How we are going to process the information. So we'll see that now. So normally information is nothing but we'll be saying that as a set of data which is going to be processed or it is going to be presented in a meaningful way. So what are the requirements that we have given? Based on the requirements, the data is going to be processed in a meaningful way. Okay, so this is what information. So how we can say that in another manner is the information is a combination of data plus context. I've already told that data is not going to give any meaning over there. So when I've added context to that data, it is going to give a meaning over here. Okay, so let's see that how it is going to be done. So already we have seen some of the examples related to the data. So now I'm going to add the context to that data in order to give a meaning for that data, right? So first I'd like to convert this data into a information, which means we are going to process in a meaningful way. So now I've added the context. So what is the context I've added? Her date of birth is 15170. So when we see the data 150170, we didn't get any meaning on it. So when I've added the context, I'm going to get some meaning on the data, right? So what is that meaning? So someone, her is there, their date of birth is 15170. So next thing is I have taken the data English. So I have given the context to that. So what is the concept? The exam is through the medium of English. So now you got a clear picture, right? Information is nothing but the sequence of data or a set of data that is going to be processed in a meaningful way based on the given requirements. So I'll give one more real-time example for you. Okay. So similarly, I have given an example for 23 and the 1066 also. So we'll have one real-time example. So what is that real-time example is? So everyone are with social medias, right? When we are with social media websites, so you have seen that like, right? Like, comment, and share. Mostly you will be seeing that in all the social websites. Either it could be a Facebook or else it could be a YouTube. Okay. So if you are taking a YouTube or a Facebook, when you are posting a video or when you are posting a page, whatever it might be. So you'll be getting a likes, right? So number of likes that you are getting on the YouTube will be saying that as a data. So why I'm saying that the like is a data here is because it is a number. It is not going to give any meaning on it. So that's why I say that the number of likes that you get on social website is going to be a data. So how we can process this data into a information, right? So we'll have a next question. So how we are going to process is, so if you are analyzing the data, so analyzing of data is nothing but which age groups likes you and where are they. So if you are analyzing this data in these two manner, it is going to be a information, right? So which age groups has been liked most, so this age group people has been liked most, so it is going to be a information here. So second real time example that I can give for you is student subject marks, right? So normally you'll be having a multiple subjects in your semester, right? So if you are having a six subject means you are going to have a individual marks for each and every subject. So that is going to be a data. So here again it is a number, right? So if you are getting some 58 in a max subject is going to be a number. So it is not going to give any meaning on it. So how we can convert this data into a meaningful way is after getting a marks for each and every subject, you will be calculating the percentage, right? And based on that percentage, they will be awarding a grade for you. So again, not only a grade, you will be getting a rank also. So this is going to be a information, right? So this is what data and information. So you'll be getting a clear picture now. Now we'll enter into a data structure concept, right? Before going into a data structure, again, we'll have some three questions in our mind. So what are those three questions is, what is data structure? Why I need to study data structure concept, right? Or these we are utilizing in our real time or not? So these are the three questions normally we'll have in our mind, right? So we'll see one by one. So why we need to study this data structure, actually what it means, where we are utilizing this, right? So first we'll see the need of a data structure. So when it comes to a need of a data structure, why, what is the need over here? So before going into the need, let us see some of the problems faced by the applications in our day-to-day life. So what are the problems we are facing, or what are the problems that the application is facing is three problems. One is a data search, another one is a processor speed, another one is a multiple request. So what is data search here? So why under data search the application is facing a problem if we are not using a data structure concepts. So just have a clear cut. All these three problems is related to that if you are not using a data structure. Okay. So first we'll start with the data search. I'll give one real-time example for you. So I'm going to consider 100 students in a classroom. Okay. So if our application need to search for a particular student detail. Okay. So nearly 100 datas are there. So in that 100 datas, I'm going to search a particular student data. So if I want to search a particular student data, it needs to traverse the details of all the 100 students every time. So what it means is whenever I'm searching or whenever I'm traversing all the 100 students details, it is going to result in slowing down the search process, right? So why? Because this, whenever I'm searching 100 data is okay. So when it comes to 1,000 or when it comes to millions of data, automatically the speed of the search process is going to be degraded. So this is the first problem. Second thing is processor speed. So processor speed is why we are saying that processor speed is also a problem is nowadays we are processing a information with a huge amount of data. We are not processing the information with the help of 10 or 100 or a thousands of data. Nowadays, we are using a huge amount of data to get the information, right? So if you want to process this huge amount of data, we require an high speed processing, right? So not we cannot fix the data, right? Today I'll be using some millions of data or thousands of data. By tomorrow I'll be using some other different amount of data. So the day by day the growing of data is going to be a different. In such a case the processor may fail to deal with this amount of data. So this is why the processor speed is degrading here. So third problem is faced by the application is a multiple request. So what is multiple request here is I'm having a thousands of users and these thousands of users are searching the data in a simultaneous manner on the web server. So what will happen here is there is getting a chance that the server will fail during this search process. So this is the problem we'll have under the multiple request. Okay, so in order to overcome all these problems, which means in order to avoid a data search problem, processor speed problem, multiple request problem by an application, we are using the data structure concept. Okay, so now next question that we'll have in our mind is what is data structure actually, and what we are going to do this data structure, what we are going to do in this data structure to overcome these problems faced by the applications, right? Here you can able to see that data structure is normally storing and organizing a data. So why we need to give a much importance for storing and organizing a data? So simply we can fetch the data and we can store the data in some way, and whenever we need to process an information we can get the data, right? This is a simple thing. So why we need to give much importance for this? So this is the question we'll have in our mind, right? So but when we are using, when we are storing the data or when we are organizing the data in the data structure, it is going to provide a three advantages on it: efficiency, second one is reusability, and third one is abstraction. We'll see one by one with an example. When we start with efficiency, it depends on the choice of data structure that we have chosen. So based on different data structures algorithm, the efficiency is going to be vary. So let's see that I'm going to have some data. From that data, I'm going to search a particular record. So from sequence of data or from group of data, I'm going to search only a particular record. So in such a case, if I'm organizing this data in an array, how the searching will be happen is we need to search sequentially element by element. In such a case, if element is present at first, it is going to provide a better efficiency. If not in the case, it won't provide the better efficiency. So this is what efficiency. So when it comes to a reusability, here we are saying that data structures are reusable. So whenever we have implemented the data structure, which means it can be used at any other place. So how can we say that is normally we are going to implement the data structure and this is going to be compiled into our libraries. So these libraries can be used by different clients. So this is what reusability. So final advantage that we are going to have here is abstraction. So abstraction is normally when it comes to a data structure, it is specified by the abstract data type only. So which provides various level of abstractions. So how can we say that is if we are having a client program, so client program is going to use the data structures, right? I've already told that the client is going to use the data structure implementation via libraries, right? So in this case, the client program use the data structure through interface only. So interface meaning is that without getting into the implementation details, they are going to use the data structures algorithm. So this is what abstractions. So these are the main advantages why we are going for a data structures, right? So now let us see next thing. Are these are really used in our real time or not, right? So we used to have that question in our mind. So we'll see that.